Hello everyone, my name is Oni, and today we are going to be playing a game called The Long Dark. Sorry there's no music for the title screen, it's really loud, I'll be turning it back on before we actually start the game. But I wanted to play this game, one, because I've never been able to get myself through the story. This keeps disappearing, sorry about that. And I'm hoping that actually making videos on it will get me through the entire game. And two, I don't see a lot of people talking about it, and I thought it was a really interesting game. So it's all based on the premise of survival. And even at the start of the game, it tells you that, this is a game based around survival and the techniques that you need to do to survive. However, this is not an exception or like a way around actually taking survival courses. So we'll do capable survivor because I kind of like to have both. Story 3 is fine. But yeah, so I've played this once or twice before, and I always end up dying to that right there on the loading screen. The wolves, they end up taking me out almost immediately after I get through the tutorial. But hoping with videos, or uploading videos regularly on it, it'll actually allow me to progress through and get past that point. Maybe see what this game is entirely about. But I really like the concept of it, so let's get in. I think there's some story here in the beginning. So enjoy. Alright, so we're actually in the game now. I won't spoil anything on it. We just have to remove this piece from our hand, but we're going to get into some more story throughout doing these instances and things. God dang, that would hurt like hell.
I need to find some shelter from this wind.
But I really like, the game has a way of immersing you into it, even with the kind of low poly design that it's got to it. It's got the, I can't think of the, hang on. Fire. Fire provides heat, water, food protection. Use the campfire option in the radial menu. You'll need all the fixings, a fire starter, tinder, and fuel. Accelerant speeds up the process. Fuel types impact burn time and heat production. An active fire can be used to cook and boil water, as well as keeping you from freezing to death. So yeah, that's one thing about this game, is in other games where you would, how do I pull up the, there it is. Other games you would just click start the fire and all that kinds of stuff. In this one you have to gather the resources for it, the exact resources you need, and then you also have to set apart time for the actual fire to be made and how long it's going to last and everything. And there's different accelerants you can use, so like cloth and stuff is bigger types. And it also affects your inventory space and everything else. So. But let's get our man some fire so he doesn't die of the cold. First aid. Study your treatments and learn to triage. I'm going to say triage. I don't know if that's how you pronounce that. There are many ways to die in the wilderness. Medical treatments, man-made or harvested from the natural world, will save your life. Use the status screen to check on your health. Apply a treatment using the first aid radial menu. You can also use treatments from your pack menu. The key to survival. Preparation and self-control are vital to your survival. Check your controls menu if you are unsure of how to do something. This could save your life. So I don't...
bleeding.
Yeah, we probably should stop that bleeding, to be honest. Cardboard box. So that's another thing. Some items you can't use immediately. You actually have to break them down to get the resources inside of them. I don't know. This game just takes what you have to do in the world to survive to the fullest
Need
compared
some first
to other
aid.
games. I should probably get him that, to be honest. He's gonna keep complaining. Antibiotics? Yes, plane crash injury.
Why didn't that work?
Okay. Do the bandage first.
I'm gonna bleed out soon.
Okay, there we go. So we've healed our blood loss, but that doesn't completely heal the wound yet. And I think I've got enough for the fire. Cannot run, which is in the bottom right there. I pressed that with R1. Probably because he's got a busted foot or leg or something from what he said was a plane crash. It'll tell us later on in the story about it, but... So... Where can I... There we go. So yeah, then you have to choose the resources you want to use, and some resources you'll want to hold on to because they're better off in other instances. And there's different stuff you can add to make the process go faster, but all of it eventually leads to your imminent demise. At least that's what usually happens to me.
Come on.
Though I don't think I've ever died from actually not surviving off of the land. It's always something in the wilderness that kills me, so we'll see how it goes this time. Also, I'm not sure what could leave a ribcage that big. I would hope a
Fire's
bear or
life out
guess, but looking
That's all
at that,
I have in me. Need to lay down before I fall down.
he also talks a lot, so you may hear me stop to let him speak. But yeah, I don't know if a bear would have that big of a ribcage. Never seen a bear's ribcage, but it looks dinosaurish.
Thirsty. Gotta be a way to melt some snow.
And then also, if you go to sleep or over time, your fire will go out and you have to keep it going. So, status. Status is your early warning system. When you bring up the quick stats or the radial menu, you'll get a preview of your current condition, as well as information about how cold, tired, hungry, and thirsty you are. Anytime one of these status indicators is empty and red, this means you're losing condition. Lose all your condition and you will die. So, pretty self-explanatory. You know, we gotta have food and water to
I
survive.
might be stuck here a while. Better see what I can use.
Come on, get me. There we go. So, if I remember, we get water, but... Oh my gosh, I'm going to have to adjust the sensitivity here in a minute.
I'm gonna need to eat soon.
Yes, I got you, dude. I don't think we can just get regular snow. I thought that there was a specific spot we had to look for it. Ah, there's these.
Looks
I
like
forgot about
debris
this.
from the crash site above.
Matches and some water tablets. MRE. More matches. Okay, cool. So those matches will help us, and he's freezing. Those matches will help us make fires faster, and I think it allows us to have torches as well, which come in handy later on when we're exploring, because we do eventually get out of this area. Accelerants, good to go. I do like some of the little quotes over here on the side, like for the book. Okay, don't need those yet. Well, thanks for telling me that, game. Alright, let's get back here and see if we can't make some food and water for this guy. Hopefully the MRE... Yes, I know you're weak. Hopefully the MRE will be enough to sustain his hunger, but I don't remember how we do the water tablets. I thought that we had to collect snow, but... Okay, so we can get the fire going again. We'll go ahead and use an accelerant so it doesn't take nearly as long.
Looks like it worked.
Yes, it did. Food, none. Here we go, water. So this is another thing. We can put in here how much snow we actually want to melt, but the more we put in there, the longer it's going to take, and it'll burn out our fire. So we didn't even get to the full amount of our water because our fire burnt out. So what we actually need to do is put in a bit more firewood. And okay, that's just telling me how many different types of matches I have. Oh, this is gonna take forever without the accelerant. Alright, well. But yeah, we gotta put in more fire so that way we can get more water going. And then I'll also have to bring up the radial menu to keep my hunger going, and soon enough we should be out of the tutorial and be able to get out of this area. Come on, fire. Let's go. There we go. You know, it's funny, the fire actually does make this place look a lot toastier. So we can actually go ahead and eat our MRE. That'll at least get him to stop complaining about his hunger. Oh, it brings up our food a little bit, or our water a little bit too. So that's nice. And then light sources, drink, first aid. No, we need to add some more fire like that. And that brings up our meter in the top right. So now we have an hour of fire compared to our like 20 minutes a second ago. And we can do our 1 liter of water and purify it so that way it's good to drink. If you drink bad water, I believe it can make you sick in game. So now we have potable water, and if we go to our drinking, we can drink potable water, and that'll bring up our thirst. There we go. So there we go.
That cut smarts. Better make sure it doesn't get infected.
Oh, yeah, we forgot to use the antibiotics. Whoops. Go ahead and use the antiseptic on it. There we go. Yeah, that's another thing. It doesn't tell you right away what you need to use for certain.
I need to rest up.
For certain types of injuries and stuff like that. So sometimes you'll end up using the wrong resource, and it'll either just not use it entirely, or you'll lose that resource, and that can be detrimental.
Weather's turning bad. I'm gonna need a good long fire to keep from freezing to death.
So now, it's funny, it has us go out here, but I believe this actually does more harm to us than what was intended, thanks to the freezing weather.
If I don't have enough firewood to last the night, I might not make it.
Oh, and the reason you see me breaking down so many different types of wood and stuff like that, I'm sure you may have noticed earlier, but different wood will burn longer compared to just picking up branches and things. I believe the crates burn for like an extra 30 minutes longer. Get this one last crate, and then we will head back inside so we can. Oh my god, the wind is so loud. Huh, I've never seen that before. I guess some of the crates can also have items inside of them, so no, we'll save it for another time. I was gonna say let's go back and get that other crate, but alright, so now we can do the tinder plug, reclaimed wood, and then we'll throw some accelerant on there so that way we can get this done quickly.
Worked.
And it looks like our best option is probably just to throw some hooks on here. They don't actually know how long we need to get this fire going for to be able to survive the night, but 2-hour duration is definitely not an entire night, but we're gonna throw that on there just because. Here, and I also don't know how long he slept for. He keeps on and off sleeping on us, so it could have been a lot longer than what I thought. Okay. Purify the remaining of our water so we can get that good to go. Ah, wrong radial menu. There we go. Get our thirst back up. I don't know if it'll apply in-game. I'm guessing it will, judging by how realistic they try to make it, but you can survive longer without food than you can without water. So I think we've got like an extra week of survival without food versus without water. And we'll see how well that works out for us, but and here we go. See, we can take torches from our fire, or if we pre-make... Oh, and our torch is up. Whoop. Still can't run thanks to the busted leg. Let's get this last bit over here. I was hoping that the fire would keep us warmer longer, at least long enough so we could get over here and get... Okay, that was empty. Shoot.
Yep, so cold in my life.
Back to the camp so we can wait out the night. No, I don't want that. There we go. So that allows me to bring back out my torch. I think it's wanting us to just throw all of this on here, so that way we can keep the fire going throughout the night. What is it, like 8 hours? Yeah, that extra 7 should probably do it, since we've already sat here for a good hour or so melting water. Let's see if we can't melt some more of that and just get a crap ton of water. Time management's a huge thing for this game as well, because you need to... It's like just sitting here around the fire isn't getting anything done, and the time is going to go down either way, so being able to boil water on top of it, everything else, passes our time and lets us go farther along throughout the day. You would think he would try and sleep given his condition with his leg and stuff, but I don't know, maybe he just doesn't care about that. I should probably
last me through the night.
I should probably see about the
So tired.
antibiotics. Oh,
Come on.
I don't know if that actually worked or not. We may have just wasted our antibiotic, so we'll see.
Thought that storm would never end. I need to find some food.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. Actually, I think I saw crows. Ears are your best survival tool. Pay attention to your surroundings as you might glean information that's important to your survival. For example, a murder of crows circling up ahead might suggest an animal carcass or even a human corpse might be nearby. Hoping it's not suggesting that we eat a human corpse. I played... oh, what is it? I keep wanting to say Dead by Daylight, but it's not that. It's the other one with the camper... Or not the campers, the... Oh, the one that's like a movie with Wendigos. Either way. Doesn't matter. So the crows are going to signal to us where some food might be. I don't... Ah, there we go. Yeah, that's right. We're supposed to head over here. Up the tree branch.
It was a hell of a storm last night. Blew that tree clean over.
I'm going to trust this guy's survival instincts, but if I was him, I don't know that I would be climbing this tree if it just fell down.
Astrid's pack.
We will learn about this stuff. Okay, thanks for...
Locked.
Yeah, can tell by the combination, dude. Okay, here we go, more story, so I'll shut up.
Jackrabbit Remote Transport, Mackenzie speaking. Whoa, slow down, Maureen. What are you talking about? It's okay, Maureen. I've got it from here.
Hello, Will.
What are you doing here?
It's been a while, I know.
Yeah. Years. I haven't heard from you since...
I know. I know. And I wouldn't be here if it weren't important.
Well... What brings you... I mean... Are you sick?
No. No, not me. But I need to get to someone who is.
Right. So you're still a doctor?
Yes, I'm still a doctor.
I thought that after... Why are you here?
I need your help. There's an isolated community in the northern part of Great Bear. Someone there is very sick.
Great Bear? There's nothing there anymore. Not since...
I know. But I have to get there.
Still trying to save the world, huh?
Somebody has to.
What's that supposed to mean?
Mackenzie... Will... I didn't come here to fight about the past. I need a pilot to take me somewhere remote. Someone who won't ask too many questions. Someone I can trust.
Wait. Questions? Astrid, are you in trouble?
Are you gonna help me, or not?
What's in the case?
See, there's that thing about no questions, remember?
What's in the case, Astrid?
No questions.
Look, the weather out there is bad. Bad. But it's getting worse. You walk in here after years. I could have been dead. You could have been. And then you show up and you want me to just risk my life flying into the middle of the great northern nowhere to deliver you in some mystery metal case to some remote wilderness outpost. All because you walked in here and asked me to?
Yes.
Astrid, you can't bring him back.
This isn't about that.
I know how hard it's been.
No. You don't know, Mackenzie. You don't know anything.
You don't think I feel it too?
Are you gonna take me or not? The longer I wait, the worse it'll get. Damn it. I don't have time for this.
Wait. The worse what we'll get? Why do I have a feeling you're not talking about the weather?
Because I'm not.
Throw your bags in the plane. I'll get started on pre-flight. Better buckle up tight, because it's gonna be a rough ride. Whatever's in this case, Astrid was ready to die for it. I hope she hasn't already done it for it.
Alright, so if you guys hadn't guessed, we are that big red-nosed man, Will Mackenzie. And this briefcase is what is so important, apparently, to our, what I can guess is ex-girlfriend, adventure, I don't know. Either way, that's how we got into this situation. We were flying her to the great unknown wilderness area. It's our coat. So this is another thing it talks about. Clothing's very important in the game. Some clothing's better in other situations. I'll just read this. Out in the wilderness, clothing is like armor against the elements. Wear layers to stay warm, and remember, wind is your enemy. Clothing offers different protection from cold and wind chill. Your clothes can get wet from blowing snow or if you fall into water, which makes them ineffective and increase your risk of hypothermia or even frostbite. Keep your clothes as dry as you can. Finally, clothing can protect you from physical injuries as from falling or tangling with wildlife. Balance all these factors against the weight and mobility cost of your combined clothes. So yeah, like I was saying, it affects how the weather affects you. You know, you'll need lighter if we go into warmer climates, all the fun stuff. And skin, just
could save my life.
as real as it can
Doesn't
be.
look too good, but what choice do I have?
Looks like we can get 3.5, which definitely sounds worth having all of that meat because we are going to need it later for food, one way or the other. Everything you eat can kill you. When starving, you may feel desperate enough to take your chances, but in general, eating raw meat is a bad idea. Cook it over a fire to avoid getting food poisoning or parasites. Cooked meat also lasts longer and attracts fewer predators. I don't know if that part's true or not. It doesn't feel like it would be, that cooked meat would attract less predators, but I know, things out in the wild usually eat raw meat, so maybe the smell of cooked meat just isn't as enticing. Who knows? But alright, let us get back to our camp and make us some food. Tinder plug. Get some sticks in there. We don't have any more accelerant, so we have to sit here and wait for the fire. Awesome.
Come on.
As nice as it is and how I can understand the immersion side of it, having to sit here and wait for your fire, and that's adherent on your time, it's kind of frustrating because you're like, oh, I just want to get through this. But then it adds the tension too, so I don't know. It's a give take on whether or not I feel like it's a good thing.
It worked.
That it did, Mackenzie. So we'll get about half an hour's worth of fire. Looks like we can cook all of our venison. Unfortunately, that's taking up like all of our time as far as the fire goes. So now we need more wood. Yeah, we'll just use it all. I can find some later. Get all of this cooked so we're not stuck here with food that can attract animals. I don't want to die to wolves again. Oh, I never noticed the day-night cycle up in the top right, by the way. Don't know how I didn't notice it, but I never did. Okay, we can eat this. I haven't run into the problem yet, but there's also supposed to be a carry weight disability, so if you have too many items on you, it can detriment you as well as having too few. Alright, just about full on food, and this will easily take our water all the way up. And isn't there some way for me to... nope, that's not it. Oh. How do I... Okay, that's my torch. Don't need that. No weapons, fresh venison cooked, no decoys. I thought that there was a way... Oh, here it is. So we need to put on our jacket that is 98% wet. Or maybe not, because apparently it's... So there's some way for us to warm that up. I just don't remember how.
That didn't work.
I feel like the antibiotics will help out our... Nope. Apparently not. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. Okay. Maybe if I wear it, it'll decrease its wetness because I'm close to the fire. I know that'll probably bring our cold up, but if we can get the jacket warm enough... Yeah, so that's slowly going down. And maybe if we... Yeah, so there we go. We can sit it... I dropped my fresh venison. Cool. We can sit it next to the fire and it'll actually warm it up for us. And while that is doing that, we can head out here and try and get some more wood so we don't die from the cold. Ooh, birch bark, I believe, is a really long burning wood type. At least in game. I don't know a whole lot about survival techniques, so. one thing about the game. I always feel like I'm wasting a bunch of time going around doing stuff because I'm not. Also, I don't know why I can't get into this backpack. It's kind of frustrating.
I could probably climb that.
Okay. Yeah, we could probably get out of there. Don't tell me I don't need those. Okay, we've gotten all the deer meat. Let's see if our jacket is done. And then once we check on that, we can actually climb that wall. And I think that'll take us out of the tutorial. And that's where I'll probably end the video. So, come on. This not being able to run thing really sucks. Okay, jacket, you are 42% wet. Let's see if we can't get it all the way. While we're at it, we can make some more water.
Come on.
Hopefully we don't die in the process. I'll end up dying before I even get over the cliff. That'll be awesome. Will needs to learn some campfire songs.
Well,
while he's waiting for that stuff to
goodness
start
for
up, he
that.
could have been sitting there singing it. Alright, got an hour more of this, and let's get some water. Even if it's not drinkable yet, having the water will be nice. And this is no longer... crap. No longer wet, so we can actually wear it. And it'll keep us a lot warmer out here. Alright.
This will
You
go handy.
still can't get those apparently. Come on, Will.
That's gonna slow things down.
Awesome. Oh, rose hips. Mother Nature's painkiller. Sometimes Mother Nature is your pharmacist. Craft rose hips into a preparation that can be boiled in water to produce a tea with pain-relieving properties. Keep your eyes open for other natural remedies. Yeah, I don't.
Rest up.
I've been trying to gather these, but I
Tell me what
don't.
tomorrow will bring.
Don't. Oh, come on. Don't think I would have guessed to grab them for a sprained ankle. I figured that they were just another source of food.
I feel stronger today.
To you.
I think I can climb out of here now.
Let's see. As you learn things about the world, either through your own actions or through interaction with people, you unlock knowledge about people, places, things, and actions. Deeper knowledge can be revealed when you gain the trust of other survivors you meet. This knowledge is tracked in your journal for future reference. Yeah, so we have our journal, which we can reference back to all of our tutorials and stuff. Oh, yes, thank God. We can sprint finally. Is that... okay, so that doesn't gain back up, so we should only use that in events of stress, apparently. Ooh, we can grab the rest of these rose hips.
Only one way to go. Up.
Thanks, Will. And let's hope that he actually makes it out of here this time. So maybe Astrid isn't somebody we're into, because when we were climbing there just a second ago, you saw a ring on Will's finger. I don't know if that's from her or... not like it matters. I think she's dead, given the crash situation, and she wasn't with us. Unless she decided to fall somewhere else and is just crazy good at survival. Her medical background actually might allow her to be, but... oh, well, I wanted those last rose hips, but cool.
I think I'm gonna make it.
You think Will, but it's pretty tiring climbing all this, if I had to take a guess.
Getting near the top.
Also, I don't know why you wouldn't grab the backpack in general, because then he could store more stuff in it, but, whatever. Game's limitations, I guess. I'm sure you can make or find one out in the wild.
Finally made it.
Cool. I think we have enough rose hips, so I'm not going to be grabbing those. Oh, good. Our stamina does eventually come back.
I sure hope Astrid's not in there.
Oh, cool. More story.
I see you're still wearing it.
Huh? Wearing what?
Your ring. Our ring.
Oh. Yeah. I mean, I just forgot to take it off.
I wear mine too.
Why?
Memories, I guess.
I thought you wanted to forget.
Not all of it.
Look. I should have looked for you.
It's okay. I've kept busy. I've moved on.
You sure? Because this all seems pretty familiar. You still working with that researcher? Doctor, what's his name?
No. No, I'm not working at the center anymore.
Well, then where?
I'm working on my own. Freelance, you could say.
Freelance doctor? That sounds legit.
I don't question your life choices, Mackenzie. Plenty of things you could be doing besides hanging out in your dad's old plane and drinking in the daytime.
Hey, we had a lot of good times in this plane. And it's under control.
I know, okay? I'm not here to fight, really.
I think about him all the time, you know?
I know you do.
What I did. The choice I made. I did it for us.
You don't have to. Let's just not...
No. It's important that you hear this. There's things I need to say.
Mackenzie, not now. There's...
Just let me tell you.
Will, shut up for a second. Something's wrong.
That is not good.
What's going on?
Power's gone. Whole electrical system looks fried.
Shit! What's happening?
No power means we're going down. Hold tight.
Will?
There must be signs of Astrid around here somewhere.
Okay, so they were married at some point. Also, for somebody who was crashing, he was awfully...
Not sure which of us looks worse.
He was awfully calm about the whole situation.
How things were supposed to end.
Maybe that's just from years of experience, but I don't know if I'd be able to be that calm in that situation. Cool, there's an orange soda. Can we see? Yep, there's where we were at. Awesome. Yeah, so we can find a lot more items of clothing and other stuff like that. Let's see if we can actually put those on yet. Oh, nope, those are frozen. What about the vest? Oh. Okay. Oh, there it is. That's frozen as well. Alright. So none of that until we've at least found a fire.
She definitely passed through here. Not in a hurry.
Running for your life, sprinting. Walking through the snow with a heavy pack can get tiring, but sometimes you have to run. Escape wildlife, avoid weak ice, or get to shelter faster by sprinting. Keep in mind that sprinting uses up more calories than walking, and your sprint stamina is limited by how restrictive your clothing is. It takes you a little while to recover sprint stamina, so use it wisely. Cool. So, we're not being chased by anything. I guess it was just giving that warning for ahead of time, but I am going to end the video here. Went way over the time that I intended. And that leaves us with a bit of cliffhanger. So, I will see you guys in the next one. Oni out.